Hi guys, welcome to another flip class. This one is about the Muslim Empire. This is by no means come to replace what you should read in TCI chapter 4 section 3. This flip class is going to take what you already know after reading the basic information in TCI, going to take it to the next level. Here we want to understand how the Muslim Empire came to be what it was, one of the greatest empire of all times. What did they exactly do? What was the secret? So here we go. It all starts with a man named Muhammad. He was born in Mecca, here in the Arabian Peninsula. It was a major trading center, and he was born there at the year more or less 570. He was born as a part of the Banu Hassim tribe, which was part of a larger tribe named Quraysh. So keep that in mind, that there are many tribes, and we will talk about them a little bit later. This is part of what's really amazing about the Muslim Empire. What did they do with those tribes? Muhammad in Arabic means highly praised. Now you should know that it is forbidden to draw, according to Islam, forbidden to draw Muhammad's face. This caricature from Charlie Hebdo, a French newspaper, got them into a lot of trouble. We mean, no offense to nobody, we are not very Muslim, we're gonna use some paintings of Muhammad, and again means no offense. This is Muhammad's family tree. Here he is pointed in with the red arrow. His parents died when he was pretty young. His father when he was around 6, his mother while giving birth to him. Who actually took care of him while he was growing up was Abu Talib, his uncle from his father's side. Now Muhammad didn't have much. He didn't have a normal family, and he was financially pretty in a limited situation, so he was forced to work. He worked in various areas. He was a shepherd, he cleaned houses, and he was a trader, sold various things. Eventually he was hired by a woman named Khadija. She was a rich widow, and she later became the first Muslim. While representing her business interests, he traveled all through the Arabian Peninsula and to nearby lands, where he came into contact with various different kinds of people. He got to know some Jews, got to know some Christians from various branches of Christianity, from Ethiopia, from Syria, Eastern Orthodox Church, and so on. And they told him about their prophets, about their Bible, about Jesus Christ, about Moses, about Abraham, about their beliefs. Muhammad was very impressed. At the year 610, he reached a city named Hira, where he went to sleep in a nearby cave. There he was revealed by an angel. Angel woke him up, and this was the first time that God has discovered himself to him, has revealed himself to him. Muhammad married Khadija and was faithful to her remainder of the 25 years she was alive until her death. The marriage to a wealthy woman gave him a lot of leisure time. He had some more time on his hands. So he started speaking to angels. God revealed himself to him again, and later the angel Gabriel revealed himself to him. Muhammad was convinced that Allah, God, has chosen him to be his prophet, and is delivering to him the complete word, the complete truth. Muhammad began preaching the truth, what the angel revealed to him, and it was in Mecca at around the year 613. Gradually, through hard work and turmoil, the new religion of Islam grew and became very powerful, pretty much to the disliking of his rivals. They kicked him out of Mecca. He was forced to move to Medina. You know the story, it's in TCI. Then he died. Well, Before he died, he conquered, as you can see in this map, all the dark green territory. He and his followers occupied a pretty big chunk of the Arabian Peninsula. But then he died. After his death, his believers searched new lands to spread the true word of God, the new religion. And they have conquered first the light green territory, later the yellow one as well. For 600 years, Islam was the most potent and vital religion, culture, and military force in the world. The Arab Empire was ruled by successors of Muhammad. These new leaders were called caliphs, and the political religious state of the Muslim community and the peoples and lands under their control was known as the Caliphate. The first caliphs were Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. Here you can see them in the painting. The assassination of Uthman and the ineffectual and tumultuous regions of Ali contributed to the first major split within the Muslim community that resulted into two major groups of Muslim believers. The Shia, the smaller branch between both of them, and the Sunni, which until this day is the larger. Muawiyah, a member of the Ottoman's Umayyad clan, skillfully took over the Caliphate and established the Umayyad Empire, which lasted until 750. Here you can see him on the horse. Many consider the years of the rule of the Umayyads to be the golden age of the religion of Islam. The religion was thoroughly analyzed, embellished, documented, translated widely. Peoples from newly conquered lands were converted to the new faith by the millions. The Abbasids were a new political faction headed by Abbas, a descendant of one of Muhammad's uncles. This is the symbol, this is the flag. The Abbasids' power base was in Persia, which chafed under the control of the Umayyads. Around 750, the Abbasids replaced the Umayyads as the new Caliphate. The Abbasid dynasty would last for 500 years. But how did they do it? Now I'm talking about the entire Muslim empires, not distinguishing now between Abbasids and Umayyads, but talking about the secret of the Muslim empire as a whole. How did they do it? How did they build one of the largest empires of the world? What was the secret? Well, first they had military supremacy. They knew how to use the camels. Very fast animal, very tough animal, very suitable for harsh conditions, for the desert, and they mastered it. They also had something else, something that helped them in the military factor, but was, well, much more of it. It was a political, a social political aspect. And this is what I want us to focus now. The appearance of the unifying ideology of Islam, coupled with the skillful use of both traditional and novel means of political consolidation, resulted in the emergence under Muhammad and Abu Bakr of a new state that was able to organize and dominate more effectively than ever before the different tribal groups of Arabian Peninsula. In place of the extreme political fragmentation that had formerly existed in Arabia, with various tribal groups vying with one another for local dominance, there emerged a relatively centralized, unified, and unifying polity that integrated most of these tribes into itself and made them functioning parts of the larger whole. So this is basically it. They took one ideology, Islam. In a minute we'll focus on why it worked with Islam. They took many tribes that previous to the appearance of Islam fought each other for meaningless things, or, well, I don't know, a big thing in their time, dominance of very small areas, and they unified them for one cause, the cause of Islam. They organized them into one governmental or one political group, and made them a force to be reckoned with. Look at how many tribes were there in this Arabian Peninsula. So how exactly did they do it? Now we'll go into more details on how did they do it. What were the means of taking all these small tribes, making them into one force? So this is it. One thing is the purely ideological plane. The same factors that had assisted the process of political integration under Muhammad continue to function during the conquest period, notably the impetus to political unification and centralization implicit in Islam's concept of a universal, unique God, of an overriding moral authority established by God and expressed in revelations granted His apostle, and in the unity of the Islamic community. So this is crucial. There is only one God. This one God has the truth. He is overriding all other moral consideration, all other authorities. There is only one prophet who got this one true, complete word. This is Muhammad. He was the first leader of this empire. All other successors ruled in his name, under the same rights, in the name of the same God. This God gave them the authority. They were the religious authority. They were also the secular, political, social, economical authority. It gave them the right to rule. All other tribes, once they have accepted Islam, must accepted or easily accepted their political rule and contributed to their political goal. As under Muhammad, for example, the promise of material gain in the form of booty or other rewards was doubtless still an effective endorsement for many tribesmen to remain loyal. So yes, there was the illogical point of view, but there was another consideration. You know, people are people, and at the end of the day, with all the ideology in the world, they still need to eat. So the Muhammad and later his successors found out that if they pay and if they are generous with the tribesmen, they will get what they want. They will unify them. So they pay them. They conquered. They have succeeded in their endeavors after the tribes find out that if they are unified, if they are working together, they are winning. They are very successful, and they are getting a lot of loot, a lot of booty from the war, and they can distribute it, and they have. It became a method. They were paying. They were not only paying after combats, they were regularly paying. They had a salary. They paid commanders, they paid the individuals in charge, the chiefs of the clans, the chiefs of the tribes, they paid them a salary. Now, salary is a very powerful tool. It is expected. It creates dependence. You are waiting for it from month to month, from week to week, doesn't matter the period, but you know it is coming. You have a large motivation to remain loyal in this amount of time, in this period of time, until you get it the next time. It is very structured, so it does inspire loyalty or dependence, depending how you want to look at it. Now, tribesmen also became bound to the state when they received shares in the Nasib land. Nasib is the lands that the Muslim Empire have conquered from others. So they not only pay them salary, not only pay them with the loots of war, already also gave them lands. This is very clever, because they are giving them lands in places where they want these tribesmen to be located at, where they are breaking dominance of other tribes, they are creating their own coalitions, making them in charge of, and making sure that everyone else doesn't speak the same language or from rival tribes that will be loyal first to the main government and only later to the neighbors, like divide and conquer, if you like. In addition, the organization of the army was itself a factor that weakened poorly tribal ties and strengthened the bonds between the tribesmen and the state. a winning army, men fighting against each other, they have a special bond, brothers in arms, if you like. The army, a successful army, is a super important integration tool. They used it, and they use it very, very effectively. But what was super clever is that they were not fighting, the Muslim Empire were not fighting the tribes, tribes and the identification. Oh no, they were much more clever than that. They were not trying to say, you're not tribesmen anymore, we are only part of one empire. No, no, no. They have integrated complete tribes into them. They actually wanted the tribes to keep on remain as tribes, as groups. Why is that? Well, it was very easy to control large groups like that. Think of an army. You have platoons in an army, right? Brigades and platoons in an army. Well, they have the same thing, ready-made. You have one tribe with a tribal leader, the army leader of this tribe, or the political leader of the tribe, both. And all they need to do is to control one man, which in turn control the entire group. It's easier to negotiate and to control one man than an entire group. They did it very, very, very wisely. Forms of controlling a person that you cannot do with a complete tribe. You can marry a person into loyalty, and they did it. They did it beautifully. They took the tribal's leader, married him to another tribal's leader to create coalitions, married them into members of the government, again, to enforce loyalty in part of family ties. Another thing is that you can pay more to a person, or let's say you have to pay less to get more loyalty. You pay only one person a big chunk, but divided into all the tribes, and that's not a lot for each, but only to the leader, that's a lot, right? So they actually did it. Gave a tribal's leader a lot of influence, make him feel powerful, and in return got the loyalty of this person and all the group that followed him. So the golden age of the Muslim Empire came when the Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid, from around 786 to 809, presided over the empire. The Abbasid moved the capital of the Arab Empire from Damascus, which is in today's Syria, into a place called Baghdad in Iraq, today's Iraq. The reason is that this place, Baghdad, is in the crossroads of a very important trade routes, and the Muslims became masters of trade. This golden age was really glorious. Commerce, trade, riches were flowing into the Abbasid Empire. Trade, new buildings, and the study of arts, medicine, and more flourished. Great caravans and ships arrived into the empire. Silk, peacocks, ink, porcelain, and spices came from China. Rubies, dyes, ebony, silver arrived from India. Perfumes, gold, pearls, and slaves arrived from the Persian Gulf and from Africa. Prosperity birthed a new profession of banking and business management that reached a level of sophistication in Islam that would not be attained by the West for over 300 years. Medicine, writing, mathematics, art, architecture, philosophy, and more all expanded to new heights unknown to the rest of the world. Arab scholars absorbed ancient Greek writings, philosophy, medicine, and mathematics, and dramatically enhanced and expanded this knowledge. Magnificent mosques, Muslim palaces were erected across the empire, brilliantly decorated to celebrate submission to Allah. And here comes the end of our presentation, and with the end of the Arab Empire. So the reasons for the decline is more or less the reasons for the decline of other empires in those days. It became too big, or let's say, let's put it a little bit better. The size remained the same, but the political needs, the social needs, economical needs of the individuals and of the individual states in this empire have changed over time. The politics, the form of the political structure, the form of governing did not change quickly enough, which led to the decline of the empire. Of course, it was helped by military attacks from other civilizations, other empires on the rise, like the Turks, like the Mongols, which of course attacked them fearlessly. The Crusades didn't help much, and of course led to the further decline of the Arab Empire. Nonetheless, it was one of the greatest empires of all times. This is the bibliography for this presentation. Please feel free to follow the links and read some more. Hope you enjoyed. See you tomorrow in class.